City TV presents the high school game of the week. Good evening, everybody. From Lawndale High School inside the Cardinal Nest, along with Rufus Washington, I'm Lou Stowers. And the Pioneer League action continues on City TV 31. These high-flying Cardinals are taking on the Apaches. They may be small in stature, but boy, what a coach they have.
Oh, they've got a great coach, and they've got a program that's up and coming. They've already beat North in their first game in Pioneer League action, and North was one of the favorites in this league. So, having said that, Lawndale can take nothing for granted, even though they're coming off a big win the other night against El Segundo.
And not only can the Apaches shoot, but they can also defend. And Egidio DeLeo, what do the Apaches bring to the table?
Well, the Apaches bring in a very good record. They're 2-0 in the Pioneer League, tied for first place with Lawndale and Torrance. This is a very good team. We talked to the head coach of the Apaches before the game, and he said they're going to give Lawndale a bunch of different looks. They're going to try to keep the ball away from the two big men, Chemezi Metu and Broderick Jones. It's going to be hard to do, but the Apaches have a good chance here. On paper, it looks like it's going to be a close one.
Now, Rufus, the Lawndale Cardinals have had trouble penetrating his own defense, and that's exactly what we expect from the Apaches.
That's what they expect to see, and the Apaches do it very well. However, one of the things that you can do against the zone is you can throw over the top of it, and they've got two big guys that they can throw over the top too, Chemezi Metu and Broderick Jones.
Now, Chris Brownlee said that he wanted to get down low tonight with his two big guys and the others, Sebastian Spencer. What are the Cardinals going to do?
Thank you. Well, first of all, the Cardinals have to get down low. They're a better team when they utilize those two bigs down there, Chemezi Metu and Broderick Jones having his best game on Wednesday against El Segundo. Like you said, Lou, they have to get in the inside tonight and utilize those bigs.
Now, Devontae Patterson for the Cardinals is going to get the start tonight. He's just a pure player.
He's a pure player. He's an energy guy. Again, this is a loaded team, and Devontae is one of the guys who's come up in the program the last couple of years, and he's earned his stripes this year with great performance after great performance.
And Rashawn Haylock, these Cardinals have been getting better with every game.
And they certainly have, and they're in the opportunity right now. You look at top of this Pioneer League, well, the team that they're playing tonight is up there at the top with them, but one thing we need to focus on tonight is tempo. Of course, Lawndale wants to get up and down the floor. The Centennial team does not want to run. And Coach Malikin was supreme about that when he talked to us before the game, and was succinct about that when he talked to us before the game, that they don't want to run at all. So when you look at the tempo, who controls the tempo is going to have the advantage here. And I was talking to Coach Brownlee about this before the game. If Centennial is able to have success with that and to slow it down, it could get very frustrating for this Lawndale team. So that's something to look out for here tonight.
There you go. And the coaching very different. Whereas Coach Malikin over with Centennial says it's not a rivalry game, Coach Brownlee for the Cardinals says it is.
Well, Coach Brownlee says it is because Centennial has a lot of history in his family. His dad coached over, his dad graduated from Centennial, and unfortunately Ed can't be with us tonight. He's recovering from surgery, but you know, Chris, his son, said that this game is always big in the Brownlee family. They've got 38 years of history with Centennial High School, but right now the Brownlee affection is over here in the Cardinals' nest with the Cardinals.
And with us as well. Edward, this game is for you. Tip-offs and the lineups coming up next on City TV.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship UConn Huskies basketball team, and you're losing your Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow-away jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Back here at the Cardinal Nest just before the tip-off, we're going to have the opening lineups for the Apaches and the Cardinals. The Centennial Apaches come in at 9-8 overall. And let's go to the starting lineups. Number 2, Rashawn Turner, the 6-foot senior. Number 3, Keyshawn Harris. He's a 6'2" junior guard. Number 5, Mr. Everything for this team, Chris Townsell. He's the captain and a 6 foot, 185-pound senior. And number 21, Rodney Smith, a 6'4" senior. And also the sophomore, Kenny Davis, number 25. He is a 6 foot sophomore. The Apaches are coached by Vadim Malikan, and he has been the head coach with this team for, well, since 2008. Now let's go to the Lawndale Cardinals at 10-7, 1-0 in the Pioneer League. They've won 3 in a row and are 2-0 at home. There you see number 1, Broderick Jones, a forward, a 6'9", 210-pound junior, who had probably his breakout game with the Cardinals.
6'9", 210 might be a push.
Quincy Pinkard, a guard, a 6 foot junior. He'll wear number 2.
Deadly outside shooter.
And a kid that caught our eye these past few games, and he's earned himself a start. Number 3, a 5'10" senior guard, Devontae Patterson, in his first start.
Devontae comes to play every night. He makes the most of his time on the floor.
And number 4, the big star of this team, a 6'10", 100. Actually, let's go to number 21, Rolando Beckles, a 6'3" senior guard, and he has been the energy bunny on this team.
Oh, he certainly has. I mean, clearly one of their best players.
And number 4, Shemezi Matu, the 6'9", 180-pound junior, and it's been a pleasure getting to meet his family. His brother and sister now come to Lawndale High School, and they seem to love it here.
And Lawndale loves him, and it's been a 3-year love affair, and it's just at times, Lou, unbelievable that there's yet another year to go in the Chemezi Me Too era here at Lawndale High School.
And Lawndale's head coach is Chris Brownlee in his 3rd year, 32-11, assisted by Johnny Parker, among others. And our officials tonight, the referee will be Alvin Wills, and the umpire will be Ken Landsman. Before this ball game, the girls beat the Apaches. The Cardinals beat the Apaches 46-37. The girls JV team demolished the Lady Apaches 52-25. You see Kenny Davis, just a sophomore. He looks like he might even be in middle school still. And you know what? I bet he doesn't look down on too many people or look up at too many people, but he's looking up at Broderick's.
Right.
They see Kenny, 6'4", every bit of that 150 pounds that he's listed at.
Every bit of the 150.
Probably with the T-shirt and everything else on.
The shoes, the socks, and the shoestrings.
And we're waiting to get everything squared away as far as the clock. And, well, the scoreboard right now, we got some issues going right now. What about this Cardinal team? 81-41 over a very game El Segundo Eagle team the other night.
Well, they had a chance to strut their stuff. El Segundo, you're right, was game, but they were just too much for them. This will be a much more competitive contest we expect.
Alvin Wills puts the ball in play, and Broderick Jones wins the tap. Quincy Pickard touches the ball first. Ball is wheeled around. 3-point shot taken, won't go down. Broderick Jones with the rebound. Matu with the rebound, puts it up, and a foul underneath. Is that Chris Townsell?
Looks like that's who they gave it against.
There you see the Broderick Jones, and Shemezi misses the first one. And if there is something that this team and others that we cover should be able to do is improve on their free throw shooting, as Shemezi is 1 out of 2. And it's 1-0 early on. Full court pressure and a blocking foul. that going to be on Broderick's?
Yep.
So first personal, first team foul. And out of bounds again. And you can see that full court pressure. Broderick's with that huge wingspan forces the turnover. So Quincy Pinkard will inbound the ball. And Broderick Jones gets his own rebounds and put it in. So 3-0 now in favor of the Cardinals as the Apaches try to break the pressure, and there's another turnover. Pinkard with it, waits for the man to go by, almost put in. That was almost a goaltend. Full court pressure again, and the shot was missed, the easy bunny. And the tie-up goes to the Apaches. The possession arrow, nope, it was a foul.
It was a foul, and that's what I was told. That foul is on Quincy Pinkard. Broderick Jones was in the area, and that's what I was looking at to see who he was going to give it against. But as you watch, well, actually, as that replay, if it had played through, you'd see that Jones was in the thick of it as well.
Full court pressure, maybe too aggressive because there's 2 fouls, but also 3 turnovers. Matu from the line won't go down. Rebound is up, and we have a loose ball foul.
And that was a nice jumper by Tunisia, and they give that foul.
Is that Quincy again?
No, actually the foul was on, I believe, Rashawn Turner.
Okay. First personal, that's right, because the Cardinals have the ball. Beckles, and now you can see what the Apaches are going to do. They're going to try to take that double team to Matu, but that opens up Devontae Patterson, his first bucket of the game, Rufus.
His first bucket, and he's looking good so far.
So 3 turnovers on the Apaches, and it's all been on that full court press. This is the first time that the Apaches have been past the timeline. A minute and a half are gone.
A minute and a half gone, and a 5-0 lead to start for the Cardinals.
Looks like almost a flex zone going to a man. Now Davis tries to go down the lane from the elbow. That won't go down. Rebound ripped out of the air by Shemezi. And back comes Pinkard and the Cardinals with 6:05 left in the first quarter. Beckles with the purple shoes. That won't go down. Rebound. Somehow Jones went through everybody to come down with the rebound. Here comes Shemezi. Nice.
Reverse layup. Couldn't get it to go a little hard off the glass.
Needs a little bit of touch. Yeah. Here's Davis. He tried to get the first score for the Apaches. Couldn't get it. But the rebound is taken by Pinkard. But he turns it right back over to the Apaches. That short shot missed from the free throw line. And the pass out to Beckles is stolen. He lays it in. Rolando Beckles with his first bucket of the game and a timeout call. Vadim Malikan didn't like that at all.
Didn't like it, Lou, and as you can see here, first of all, this is what Coach Brownlee mentioned in our pregame discussion with him, was that they were going to have to force their offense, or generate their offense, I should say, off of pressure defense. And thus far, virtually all 7 of their points have come as a result of pressure defense.
So 5:19 left in the first quarter, and balanced scoring again for the Cardinals. 2 points for Broderick Jones, Devontae Patterson with 2, a free throw for Shemezi, and that last bucket by Rolando. Then we're seeing Matu getting ready on defense. Full court pressure. The sophomore, Kenny Davis, brings it across the line. Almost stolen by Patterson. Harris with it. Gets it across to Townsend. Down low, the ball is stolen by Matu.
And did you see the ball handling down low? He was down low, kept his dribble alive.
I was expecting sweet Georgia Brown. Rolando Beckles gets it to Patterson. Swings it across, gets it back from Pinkert. Beckles pops it down to Jones and throws it away right into the hands of the Apaches. And that's Keyshawn Harris, and the shot is blocked by Matu. Man, here comes Patterson. Slashing inside the lane, won't go down, and rebound is off. 2-on-1 break for the Apaches, but they haven't scored yet. The ball is stolen. Here comes Matu. Traveling is called on Pinker.
No, he called a player control foul.
Oh, they did on Pinker. First it looked like a travel.
Well, let's see the replay. Was it Pinker or Chamizi? Okay, right there. You're right. It was Pinker.
So that's his second. Third team foul. So Pinkert is out. TJ, Tedrick Johnson is in. Harris brings it across. Now to Townsell. Teardrop falls. And that is Rodney Smith to break the 7-0 run at 3:45. Matu from the elbow. That's a nice shot. He's just got to get it to fall. Davis comes back across the line with it against Beckles. 3:30 left to go in the first quarter. Pioneer League action. Harris with it. Now gets it over on the three-point try, and it's nailed by Kenny Davis. They're right back in it, Rufus. 7-5 with that big three by Kenny Davis.
Right, after being down 7-0, they've outscored them 5-0.
So some missed shots are coming back to bite the Cardinals early. Taking a seat is Rodney Smith, and coming in the ball game is Dejon Mortis. Matu drives the base, and they're going to call a player control foul on Matu. That's Shemezi's first personal and fourth team foul. That's just a big guy getting called. Yeah, that's pretty close.
It was pretty close. Referee felt like he was backing him down, which once the defender establishes his position, he's entitled to it. You can't dislodge him, and that's what he felt like was occurring on that play.
And Devontae Patterson's defense forces another turnover in their own zone, or in the Apaches' defensive zone. So Cardinals get it back, and now is that a loose ball foul?
Fouls on number 12, John DeMortis.
That's his first personal, third team foul. The ball will be out of bounds with 2:57 left. Matu goes up high to get it. And now Johnson swings it around to Patterson. Over to Rolando for three. Little short. Matu was too far under the basket to get the rebound, and it'll be Apache ball with 2:40 left in the first. Driving the baseline, tried to, was Townsell, but Beckles was there to cut him off.
Nice man-to-man defense by the Cardinals right now.
Kenny Davis goes around Broderick Jones and over Matu for 2 points. And Davis has 5. And now the ball game is tied up. So again, this zone defense, no matter who puts it there, is a frustrating thing. That's a travel by Rolando.
I mean, we saw him go right by our position. I mean, he was motoring.
Yeah, he had it in 5th gear. So Beckles comes out. Coming in is Chris White. He of the 4 3-pointers the other night. So Devontae Patterson will take a seat. And Rolando stays in. Townsell has it, going up against Johnson. 2 minutes left to go in the first. Zone defense, and now Jones just knocks down and causes another turnover. Knocked down Harris, or knocked down, excuse me, that's Mortis. So that's 7 turnovers by the Apaches.
Chris White on the floor now, had a great game the other night. That was a good look. Didn't get it to go, but great effort by Chimizi, who knocked it off the defender. He couldn't get to the rebound, but he could get a hand on it. And he said, well, if I tap it off of him out of bounds, it'll still be our possession with a fresh clock.
The 2 looking like he wants to drive, but it's poked out of bounds by Davis. And these Cardinals are playing the Apaches game right now.
Now look at who Chimizi's being guarded by. There's absolutely no
Whoa!
way. And he throws that one down, throws it up to the basket as he's falling down.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good as Matu blocks it away on the other end and gets the ball back for the Cardinals, gives it to Chris White. Another block for Matu. 3-point attempt by Johnson, just off the mark. Rebound goes off of an Apache, and it'll be Cardinal ball. Let's watch the block, Rufus.
And the nice thing that Chimizi does is he understands getting position to be ready to make the block. He doesn't just jump at everything. He readies himself for it and makes it happen.
Harris with the left-handed shot won't go down. Broderick's with the rebound. Beckles touches it back to Jones, puts it up. Maybe wanted an alley-oop with 40 seconds left, but Matu puts it up and in anyway. Chimizi with 5 points. And a little bit of order restored here at the Cardinal nest.
A little bit. I'm sure for where they started at 7-0, and then a 7-0 run. Now here's a turnover.
Beckles stops, and he'll get 2 at the line. Foul will go on Chris Townsell.
And by my count, that's 2 on Townsell.
And the 4th team foul. So going to the line to shoot 2, as you saw Rolando. Protect the ball. He's turned into an awful smart player as well as an athletic player. 3 points for Beckles. And we have some substitutions for the Apaches. Coming back in the ball game is Rodney Smith.
And one of the reasons we talked about seeing Beckles zoom by us, he's a track star here at Lawndale High as well.
There's a high jump?
High jump and sprints, if I'm not mistaken.
That Letterman's jacket's going to be pretty heavy by the time graduation comes. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Davis going against Jones, and that's exactly what Coach Brownlee told us we'd see. The left-handed shot won't go down from 3. Rebound is off. Beckles with 1 second on the clock, and that almost banked in. The end of the first quarter, almost double up Cardinals do on the Apaches after allowing the Apaches to come back in the ball game.
They allowed them back in, so it was a game of two runs. But tell you what, we'll get back to that thought in a moment. Let's go down to Hegidio DeLeo.
Thank you, guys. Well, the Apaches are down here early after 1 quarter of play. But talking to Coach Malkin before the game started, he said we must remain calm, and they did that. They were down 7-0, led by Kenny Davis, number 25 for the Apaches. They're trying to come back. They're trying to narrow the lead. They got to keep the possession, the ball away from the big man, Broderick Jones, Chimizi Matu. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much. And that full court pressure, Rufus, caused 9 turnovers for the Apaches just in the first quarter.
So it yielded the results that Coach Brownlee was expecting. And the point I was making earlier before we went to Chimizi was the fact that it was a game of runs. There were 3 runs in the game. There was a 7-0 run by Lawndale, which was matched by a 7-0 run by Centennial. Then Lawndale came back with a 6-0 run to end the quarter at 13-7.
So we'll see if the trend continues. Inbounding the ball, it'll be Johnny Bailey in the ball game for the first time, and we'll see if Malakin tries to rotate. He only has 10 players on the roster, So we could see all 10 tonight.
We could, but I don't think we will. He said he only played 7 of them. The other 3, they'll get their chance, but it may not be in a game like this one unless there's some serious foul trouble.
Davis with a floater. That won't go down. Rebound is chased down, and Jones comes up with it. Just the start of the second quarter. Coming down the baseline and was bothered all the way down was Chris White.
And White looking for the foul call, no call given.
Turner with it. Turner trying to get around Beckles, but he chose the quickest guy to try to get around. Now underneath him, blocked away by Matu and out of bounds. Third block by Shemezi tonight. Looked like he almost stepped out of bounds. So ball back in, 15 seconds left on the shot clock for the Apaches.
And the other thing of interest, Lou, is that the Twin Towers have been on the floor the whole quarter and now here in the first minute or so of the second quarter.
The shot clock, and now you see what, that was a shot clock violation. It should be out of bounds for the Cardinals.
Well, it'll be the Cardinals' ball. They had possession. Normally you can have a play on that, and I'm sure that that's what Coach Brownlee would have preferred since they were already running their offense.
But did the ball leave Kenny Davis's hands before or after the buzzer went off?
Well, I thought it was before, but it hit the backboard, which is why the buzzer went, because it has to hit the rim.
Shemezi being bothered underneath by Rogers also on that play. Another Apache defender. So they have 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Dumped down low to Matu, and it's fought for out of bounds, and it'll remain Cardinal ball.
But only 11 seconds left on the shot clock.
Johnson swings it over to White. His three-point shot is blocked by Keyshawn Harris. Back comes Keyshawn, and a foul.
And the basket's going to be good.
Wow. Good athleticism, as the foul's going to be on Tedrick Johnson. So that's the first personal, 5th team foul. Broderick's sits down, and coming in is DeAndre Snedeker. And Keyshawn Harris, who made the basket, misses the free throw. Somehow that shot did not go in for Johnson. White picks it up, and that won't go in. Matu with it. Look out below. That shot was blocked on the dunk attempt, and back comes Harris. He commits the player control foul. Rolando Beckles was anchored in.
He's anchored in. Shemezi a little frustrated on the other end at the no foul call.
So they're obviously going to let the guys play. As now Matu goes out, Jones in. And now Vadim Malikan is barking at Alvin Wills. It looks like Wills, did he just give him a warning?
That's the way I would construe it if I was Coach Malikan. Yeah.
As Wills gave an emphatic finger right at the nose of Malikan. Snedeker looked like he was hammered from behind, and let's see if it's going to be 2 shots or not. Johnny Bailey with his first personal. 6th team foul, so the Apaches are now out of fouls. And Snedeker will go to the line to shoot 2. Had 4 points against El Segundo on Wednesday. Right down the middle. One point for DeAndre, who's been another pleasant surprise for Coach Brownlee. hits both of those like he's been doing it since kindergarten. Probably has.
As I said, you know, the depth of this team.
And Broderick Jones, Rufus, blocks that layup attempt by Rodney Smith. And we have a loose ball foul underneath. And I think the Apaches are hooking and holding the big guys. Said Johnny Bailey again.
If that's Bailey here, number 21, I think that's going to be Rodney Smith.
He'll take it away from Bailey, give it to Smith. And Jones makes the first one.
I'm glad he did because I'd already written it down.
So the Cardinals are in the bonus. That's 3 points now for Jones. Make that 4. As the Cardinals widen their lead.
I'm trying to see who scored that second quarter basket for Centennial.
Right now the ball goes out of bounds and it remains the Apaches' ball. Was that was, I believe it was Rodney Smith.
Okay. So then he has 4 for the game?
Smith?
Yeah.
We'll have to check.
All right.
Beckles has a shot blocked by Davis. And here comes Keyshawn Harris against Chris White. Forced it out of bounds. It remains Apache ball with 4:34 left to go in the second quarter. 23 on the shot clock. Taking it out of bounds is Rashawn Turner. Inbounds it to Davis, being pressured by Johnson. And a reach in by Davis, or check that by Johnson.
And that's going to be Tedrick's second, and that's pretty close to either getting Beckles back in or maybe even getting Brandon Newman, another guard, off the bench.
Delano Beckles in the ball game for the Cardinals. And the ball is fumbled out of bounds. So another turnover. That should be an even 10. And the substitution for the Apaches. TJ with it, gets it back around to White. Trying to break that zone defense, and Beckles was fouled on the shot, and Kenny Davis can't believe it. He said that was all ball.
That's certainly what Davis thought.
So that's Kenny's first personal, and the 8th team foul. Delano Beckles makes his first as Snedeker goes out. Matu comes in, so we've got our Twin Towers back in at the 4:04 mark of the second. That shot clanks. And Rashawn Turner going up against Delano Beckles. Chris Townsell. Long 3-point shot and banked in. And that was by Keyshawn Harris. He has 5 points. And that snaps a 5-0 run. Flying in is Delano. That missed badly, and the rebound goes to the Apaches. Davis has it. And there you see the pressure at half court. Turner now going up against Jones. We're going to get a foul in the 1-and-1. And they nail Jones. That's his second personal, 7th team foul. Orlando in for Delano.
And if you're Centennial, that's exactly what you want, is to have one of the big men in foul trouble here. And with 3:11 left in the first half, Coach Brownlee not yet making a move to sub for Jones, even though Jones has 2 here in the second quarter.
And Turner doesn't bank that one in. He has 2 points. And now it's a 2-possession game. Matu trying to go up and under, and it won't go down for him. So Shemezi will get 2 at the line. And there you see the foul.
And it's hard to see.
These uniforms are hard to read.
So it looks like that was on Smith.
So Shemezi misses the first one and the second one. And he has no points here in the quarter. So the foul was on Keyshawn Harris, Rufus. That's the 9th team foul and the second foul on Keyshawn. Beckles tried to get it to go down, and Jones gets his own, gets the rebound and puts it up and in. 6 points for Broderick's. Little floater by Davis, a nice shot by Kenny. Three-pointer by White, no. Matu hangs on to the ball. Gets it down low to Jones, who's double-teamed immediately. Trying to go up and around, and does. Nice touch by Broderick's.
So Jones picking up where he left off a couple of nights ago against El Segundo.
Ball almost stolen away again by the Cardinals on the full court pressure. Keyshawn Turner brings it across with 2:10 left in the first half. And that is goaltending.
Give the basket to, I believe Rashawn Turner will get credit for that basket. Looks like he was the guy who put the shot up.
So it's a 4-point game again with 2 minutes left in the first half. And you can see how these Apaches like to slow this game down. Beckles from the baseline, count it! He'll go to the line for the old-fashioned 3. This one is on Chris Townsell. It's called the second personal. And it's double bonus time.
Well, the basket was good, so he'll shoot 1, so it's a 3-point opportunity.
So Jones is going to sit down. Snedeker coming back in.
Well, something happened there, which I'm not exactly sure, because the referee showed Jones away to the bench. I don't think there's an indication there was an ejection, but let's get back to live action. That's Alondo.
He makes the 3-point play. And Beckles now with 7 points. So according to Rashawn Haylock, Jones was doing some mouthing and the referee made him sit down. Gave him a timeout. Matu with the rebound, and he gets up a little slow after hitting his knee on the hardwood. And a foul, and the shot will not count, but he'll get 2 at the line. And Matu is slow coming down the court.
And that's what you got to be concerned about, because that wasn't a function of his ball handling, him falling. There was something, wow. And that's one of those where you can turn an ankle. Fortunately, he's okay, or at least appears to be okay at this point.
Rashawn Turner at the line misses the first one. So now Matu comes out of the ball game. And Jones is back in. Devontae Patterson, he's in the game, so both free throw shots are missed by Turner. Quincy Pinkard also back in. So with 1 minute left to go, no sense in trying to keep Matu out there. Just let him rest that knee. Pinkard gets it down to Jones on the baseline. He'll take a long two that's just missed. Rebound is off. Snedeker tried to get it. It goes off of him, and a good defensive play down low by Kenny Davis. 43 seconds, 43 and a half seconds left to go in the first half. Davis going around, trying to go around a pick. Down low. Ball is put up by Smith. It won't go down. The rebound is off. And
good interior defense by the Lawndale Cardinals on that play.
Ball is wheeled around, trying to loosen up that zone defense. With under 10 seconds left to go, clock dart. Three-pointer put up by Patterson. No. Snedeker with a putback. So at the end of the quarter, a nice putback by DeAndre Snedeker, and it's a 9-point lead for the Cardinals going into the locker room.
So they matched at 13 with 14 in the second quarter, and with 18 for the Apaches of Centennial, they scored 11. So let's go to Sebastian.
Coach, how do you think you guys played in that first half with that scrappy bunch?
We played okay, man. The Centennial team is a well-coached team, and they really stick to that zone to really slow the game down. We just got to continue to play hard D and try to execute on O better. All right, that's all we have to do. They're good, and they're good offensively also. Very well coached. So, we just got to grind it out.
Broderick and Chemezi playing outside a little bit, shooting a couple jumpers. Are you guys going to try to incorporate them in the inside a little bit more?
We have to get them going in the inside. We just have to. That's the only way you can beat a zone, is to chop it up below that free throw line and then let the threes come from that.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Sebastian. So have the Apaches been successful in frustrating the Cardinals here in the first half, even though they have a 9-point lead?
Well, I think just a little bit. But the Apaches are a competitive club. I mean, they have a bunch of athletes. So you got a team of basketball players playing a team of athletes. Now, they've got a couple of good basketball players over there, but I think at the end of the day, it's simply going to be a matter of Lawndale having too much and being too long.
All right, so we will get to the outlook of the game, the third quarter, and the stats right after this.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't, because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Back inside the Cardinal nest just before the third period. And let's do a couple of scoring updates here. Broderick Jones, 8 points and 4 rebounds. 1 rebound for Quincy Pinkard. Yep. And 5 points, 4 rebounds for Chemezi Matu. 7 points for Orlando Beckles. 4 for DeAndre Snedeker. And 1 point for Delano Beckles. Let's go to Egidio.
Thank you, guys. Well, I talked to Coach Melvin coming out of the locker room at half. I said, how do you think you guys are handling 2 big men? He said, we're not boxing out. And I asked him, what do you guys need to do to stay in this game? He said, we need to box out. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Egidio. And Rufus, you had a chance to talk to referee Alvin Lee about a situation in the second quarter.
Well, just as Rashawn had reported, there was a lot of chatter going on between Broderick Jones for the Cardinals and Chris Townsell for Compton Centennial. And basically what the official did, I mean, he could have teed him up. He could have done a number of things. He took the path of least resistance and simply said, look, why don't you take a moment and catch your breath.
Well, that was a nice thing to do. A little warning going on. It is the new year as time is back in. Pinkard wanted to take a 3, but Patterson gets it back now to Beckles. Trying to get it down low. Jones has it now. Double team, fall away, and it looked like he was hitting Chemezi there with the rebound and the putback. So he gets his first points since the first quarter, Rufus, and another rebound. Bringing the ball across is Rashawn Turner, who had 4 points in the second quarter. Going against Patterson. Rogers gets it to Davis on the give and go, and a nice finish by Kenny Davis.
Very nice finish by Kenny Davis. Laid it high up off the glass, and of course that was to get the ball away from Chemezi.
And Davis now has 9 points. Matu with a ball fake, tried to get it off, almost did, and almost fouled Rogers in the process. Full court pressure by Beckles and Jones.
Well, what they did in the first half that was effective, they being the Cardinals, as that time I'll come back to that, as number 3, Keyshawn Harris drives to the basket.
And he has 9 points. So a little loose on the full court pressure, and it pays off for the Apaches. Matu
That's
works
what
it
you
down
gotta
low.
do. It's as simple as that.
So 9 points for Chemezi, and it's back to a 9-point lead.
Let's see if they come back to that next time down. Right?
And a nice defensive play by Patterson, trying to steal it away from Turner. Jump ball. It'll be. Is it Eagles or is it Apache's ball or Cardinal ball?
Well, we got to figure out which way it came in.
Cardinals brought it in.
Okay, well then it's the other way.
Well, actually, let's see. Does it matter who wins the opening tip?
No.
Okay.
This ain't the NBA. What matters is who had last possession. That's a good question, because folks will oftentimes think that. But remember, it's an alternating possession game.
So the Apaches get the ball from the free throw line. A nice jump shot by Townsell. That's his first bucket of the game, Rufus. And he's their leading scorer. Wide open 3 for Patterson, and he answers with a big 3. And a timeout on the floor, and Coach watch this.
Now you see way behind the line. Great shot put up and in by Devontae Patterson.
Okay. So Rashawn is trying to give me sign language here. And the written word means nothing. The big internet columnist is doing sign language. You might as well do smoke signals with what you're trying to tell me here, pal.
Right. So here in the first 2.5 minutes of the third quarter, it's been a 7-6 contest so far, with the Cardinals winning the early point battle here in the third.
A similar timeout was taken by Coach Malakin in the first quarter, about the same time too. But it's a 10-point lead for the Cardinals. Ball is tipped, I believe it was by a Cardinal feather, and it'll go out of bounds to the Apaches. They see Kenny Davis. Now, we were told that Chris Townsell is the man on this team, but Kenny Davis has been their best player tonight. Nice block attempt, and that may have hindered the shot on that. And Matu comes up with a rebound, and look out below, but Shemezi's fouled.
Going to the basket. Let's see who they give this foul to. Foul's given to Keyshawn Harris.
That is his third and the first team foul. Matu, with 9 points going to the line, has not made a free throw tonight. He's 0 for 4.
All right,
now that's the kind of broadcaster jinx I like.
Well, and you certainly did it. That's the Lou magic.
Matu. Yeah, what happened the first 4 times? Those look pretty good.
By my count, that's his 11th point. Am I close?
You are correct, sir. Bailey with it. Bailey. And Matu. They call that control the goaltending foul, and getting that is Rodney Smith.
Again, I don't know if we'll be able to see it from Miles up. Okay, boy, that
was close.
That was real close.
Patterson with it, has 1-3 in the bank. Beckles goes up for 3, just off the mark, and the rebound is taken by the Apaches, and back they come with 4:30 left in the third quarter.
You know, Beckles been on a bit of a cold streak on his 3-point attempts. He won't be cold on this one.
Oh!
Wow.
Good defensive play. That was on Keyshawn Harris.
Well, Harris got back. Boy, if they give Harris the foul on that, that's going to be his 4th.
Started off getting all ball until his arm came down. So that's the second team foul. And Orlando going to the line to shoot 2 is 2 out of 2. Coming to get back in the ball game is Bailey. Out is Turner.
That should be Harris going out.
Or check that.
And that's because that's
Harris.
Harris's 4th foul.
Now these are the hardest numerals in the league to read. So Beckles now with 11 points. And it's a 14-point lead. Davis now gets it over to Bailey for 3, just off the mark. Rebound by Pinkert.
Pinkert with great inside position for that rebound. Devontae attacks the basket, loses the handle, and picks up a foul. It normally goes that way.
It's a frustration foul on Devontae Patterson. So that's the first on Devontae and the first team foul, with 4:01 left, and Devontae will be asked to come and sit down and think about it as TJ comes back in.
I mean, look at that kind of depth. You take out a Devontae Patterson and put in a Tedrick Johnson. As I say, right now, Coach Brownlee with an abundance of riches.
Turner with it, now gets it back over to Davis, and up top goes back to Turner. Turner against TJ, a wide open 3, and that was an air ball. And we had a push.
I'm going to guess that was against Johnny Bailey, and it was.
That's his second, I believe. And Johnny will sit down.
Appreciate the crew doing a great game on a game like this tonight, keeping it well in hand. That's Alvin Wills and Ken Landsman.
Dejan Mortis is back in. Matu trips on the Apache defender. And that's Rashawn Turner. That's his second personal.
Actually, Lou, I'm going to correct you that he gave that to John DeMortis.
Okay. So that's his second, and Broderick Jones with the bucket. Orlando Beckles with the basket. Now he has 13 points.
Oh, okay. Beckles instead.
Jones with it, puts it up. No, it missed everything. Back comes Townsell, coast to coast. Nicely done by Chris. He now has 4 points. And I believe that timeout was called by Chris Brownlee.
Doesn't like what he sees, even though he's enjoying a 12-point lead at 40-28, but instead we're told a 30-second timeout called by Compton Centennial.
With 2:50 left to go, there you see Townsell breaking the defense. Let's go to Sebastian.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I talked to Coach Brownlee about how has Chimezie been as a leader for the team. He said he's been doing a lot better, but I follow him on Twitter, and I see him always bigging up his teammates, always telling them, good game, we did great today, we needed you. He's always out there supporting his teammates, even if it's through social media. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. A 3-point shot taken by White, just short, and the rebound taken by Davis. Apaches break that full court pressure underneath, and Chimezie didn't want to get that.
Well, I think he was fearful of the goaltend. Give the basket to Rodney Smith, number 21.
And a steal again, and that rebound comes off to Chris White.
Tough break for Centennial. That one went way down. That'd have brought him within single digits.
Pinkard goes up for the shot. It wouldn't go down.
Wow. And he's going to get a player control foul for his troubles.
Well, that was a good call. That's the second personal, I believe. Third, they call it.
Okay.
And the second team foul. So the Cardinals are relaxing that full court pressure this time down, Rufus. Under 2 minutes left to go in the third.
And they lead by 10. Their biggest lead has been 12 points on a couple of occasions.
Davis shovels it behind his back and to Townsell, but that was an air ball. I don't think anybody touched that on the way up. TJ to White. Now TJ gets it to Pinkard, down low to Matu.
Whoa, we're going to go the other way. Yep.
Yep.
That one you could see.
So Matu, that's his second. Third team foul. Boom.
Yeah,
there you see it right
he just
there.
lowered the shoulder on him. Little acting to go along with it, just to help make sure that the official gets the call right.
I don't know, that was a pretty good elbow to the solar plexus. That one clanks off the iron and taken down by Johnson. Matu at the baseline. Here he goes, lays it up, and a blocking foul. So Chimezie will go to the line to shoot two.
And he wanted that one all the way. I mean, he was calling for the ball. Okay, the defender was moving into him, but quite frankly, if the defender had gotten there in time.
Chimezie makes the first one. He found his stroke, Rufus.
Indeed he has. And they gave that foul to...
That was to number 23, Daniel
Okay.
Stephen. All right, so the Jinx goes back the other way. But an 11-point lead, under a minute left to go in the third quarter. The ball is swatted out of bounds by Chris White. And Rodney Smith is asking for a foul. So it'll be out of bounds for the Apaches with 26 seconds left on their shot clock, 55 on the game clock. Townsell with it. Going up against Matu, has it blocked. That's 4 blocks now for Shemezi. Look at he's just staring him down, saying, "That's my bowl of dog food, son." So on the inbound pass, the Cardinals knock it away, and good defense by Lawndale, especially Tedrick Johnson.
Good D by Lawndale. Wow, okay.
It's going to go back to Chris Townsell and the Centennial Apaches.
So did they give the foul to Tedrick Johnson? Boy, because I gave it the other way. Now I got to
It's the 4th personal, and that would be the 3rd on Tedrick.
And I thought the foul, be honest with you, was going the other way.
Matu from the baseline, trying to go through, and earns his way. Nope, they're not going to call it a shot. So that's on Dejon Mortis, his 3rd. Now the Apaches are out of fouls. Ball to Matu, but he smartly gets it back out. And Jones has his shot blocked, but too much. As Rodney Smith is going to get nailed for this one. 2nd personal, 7th team foul. So Jones, did they call it a shooting foul?
Yes.
We'll get 2 anyway. He did not score, Rufus, in the 3rd quarter after getting 8 in the first half. Still hasn't.
Well, he still got 22.9 seconds.
So out of the ball game. Well, into the ball game at any rate is Johnny Bailey. One out of 2 for Broderick's, and he has 9 points. And it's a 12-point game with 15 seconds left to go. The ball goes out of bounds, and that defense, full court pressure defense, causes another Apache turnover, Rufus, and that's 14.
And Lawndale looking to extend their largest lead of the game, which right now stands at 12, with under just about 10 left here in the 3rd.
Shot clock dark. White goes up for the shot, and Broderick's Jones loses the ball with no time left on the clock, and that shot goes wide. A 12-point lead for the Cardinals as we just about get set for the 4th quarter. Let's go to Egidio.
Thank you, guys. Well, like I said, the game plan for the Apaches going into the 3rd quarter was to box out and not have the 2 big guys, Broderick Jones and Matu, get any rebounds. They had 5 each at the half. At the end of the 3rd quarter, they each have only 1 rebound apiece, so they're doing much better. Still trailing here, though, unfortunately, but a pretty entertaining game. Lou, back to you.
Thanks, Egidio and Rufus. How are these Cardinals doing it? Now, they're either being slowed down by the Apaches, or they see the scoreboard and they're not really going for it.
Well, let's face it, they're playing the same defense they played the other night, as they've held the Apaches to only 30, just as they held El Segundo to only 33. Conversely, this is where the difference is. They scored 56 at the end of 3 the other night. Tonight, they've only got 42. And a lot of that, again, has been in part, as I said, just the sheer athleticism of the Apache team, as well as the fact that the big men have not got going, in full the way that they would like to. Nor has Chris White shot the ball tonight the way that he did.
Well, it's been good defense, double teaming by the Apache defense, and Chris White comes up with it and puts it up for his first bucket of the game, Rufus.
Well, I'll give myself credit for that jinx there. that positive jinx. I called Chris White's name, talked about what he hadn't done, and he goes, "Here, I'll show you what I can do."
That's right. And now Rodney Smith gets his first bucket of the quarter, and he has 8. That one, goes in. Chris White says, "Here you go, Rufus. Here's one more for you." 4 points for White, all in the half. That's one way to break the full court pressure, but Matu says, give me that.
Okay, look, give it up. Whoa.
Uh-oh. And the Apaches say, well, here, I'll take it back, thank you. And get a layup. That's Rodney Smith again with 10 points. Delano Beckles has his shot blocked by Davis. And Matu blocks the shot, but nobody was looking back on defense, and Harris puts it up and in. He has 11, and it's back to a 10-point game. So a little bit of the Cardinals' own medicine.
Yeah, a little bit of run and gun. Right now, they've broken what they're trying to do.
Oh!
That'll bring them back. Wow. Chamizi comes down. Whoa.
And now, look out. He's hurt. Is that his foot? Well, let's hope it's a cramp. So 6-17. Johnny Parker gonna come check him out, and let's hope that it's just a cramp. Well, he did come down.
It looked pretty awkward. Well, now he's looking okay.
Maybe it's just a cramp. It's been warm. Let's put it that way. We're having July weather in June. Wait a minute, January. I haven't had coffee in a while.
And from what's going on, we can see on your camera there that's a clear indication, Lou, that your medical prognostication would appear to be correct.
See, my 6th grade t-shirt said, the way you write, Lou, you're going to be a doctor. Johnny Bailey going in traffic, and then the ball is bounced around. Bailey gets it back. Bailey to Davis. Wheels it around, a 3-point shot just off the mark. Rebound is to Snedeker. In the ball game for Matu. Counting down to 5:30 left to go in the contest. White from the baseline has a shot. Well, he was blocked by Johnny Bailey.
Well, late whistle. Johnny Bailey's going to get a foul.
His 3rd and the 8th team foul. So Chris will get an opportunity to get 2 more. And the Cardinals can get to the 50-point mark as you watch it on the replay.
Well, there's the contact.
There's a whole lot of it. It's Johnny. Johnny goes back to the bench. Rashawn Turner back in the lineup. A half a dozen for Chris, and that's all here in the 4th quarter, Rufus, as he takes a seat, and Orlando Beckles checks in. Also, Delano Beckles is in the ball game.
And White left and went directly to the locker room for some reason.
And the shot there is made by Rodney Smith, who has a dozen. Three-point shot just off the mark. Beckles way up in the air. It goes off of an Apache. They see Matu getting up now and walking around. Chris White, Rashawn Haylock says, has a nosebleed.
Okay.
Tied up. They're looking for a tie-up is Davis. And Alvin Wills goes over to the scores table and says, nope, it's a foul on Kenny Davis. His 2nd personal, 9th team foul. And Kenny Davis says, hey, coach, there was a tie-up. And then Coach Vadim Malakin is barking at Alvin Wills again. And while all that's going on, Rufus.
Well, he's barking at the back of Alvin Wills. Alvin Wills turned around and walked away.
And there's Snedeker going to the bench. Jones, 1 for 1, has 10 points. Chris White back in the game. Davis, Townsell, Davis. Baseline shot, that won't go down, and Orlando Beckles gets whacked in the horn. So now Alvin Willis wants to check out Orlando. Just woke him up a little bit, and now Malakin is wondering why the whistle.
Well, that's because player safety comes first, Lou. It's real simple.
And now Broderick Jones is fouled. I believe that's going to go on Rodney Smith. And it goes on Chris Townsell for his. Yep, from behind. Yeah, you could have taken your pick there. I guess Townsell was first. Jones misses that one. With 4:33 left to go in this one. Johnson misses the putback, and the Apaches get the rebound.
And the real question, Lou, is whether or not we'll see Chamiza Mitu again tonight.
Well, unless the Apaches give him a reason to, there really isn't. And now look out for Jones. Tic tac, almost toe by Johnson.
Get it out, move the ball.
Jones gets his own rebound, is being hammered, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Apache ball with 3:58 left to go. And now Broderick is frustrated.
Well, and rightfully so. I mean, he was just straight up held on one play. I mean, around the shoulders, he was completely wrapped up, and Chamiza comes back on the floor, and that's a very, very good sign. And collectively, the Lawndale Cardinal faithful breathe a sigh of relief.
Absolutely. You've got all the starters out there right now, Rufus, as this shot goes off the mark. White almost got that one. Oh, White replaces Pinkard. And a foul underneath. It's going to go the other way. Didn't see who that foul was on.
Player there, number 11.
Johnny Bailey.
Johnny Bailey.
It's his fourth, and it's double bonus time. And the Apaches were calling for a jump ball. Shemezi with 14 points, make that 15. So this has been what you call a grinder.
It has been, and it's the kind of game, though, that if you're Centennial, that you want to see.
So Chris Townsell will go to the line to shoot two.
Okay, and they give the foul to Chamizi.
That is his third. And the fifth team foul. It's Townsell in and out. Chris with only 4 points, Rufus, and those were in the third quarter as we look at Vadim Malakin. Misses both of them. That was his first two shots at the line, Rufus.
And so back on the floor is Devontae Patterson running point for the Cardinals. That air ball put up by Jones. Thought he was fouled on the play.
Davis gives it up to Townsell for three. So 7 points for Chris and a timeout on the floor with 3:12 left in the ball game.
Still a game that, well, first of all, it's a game that still is a toss-up a bit at 11 points with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left. Although, as you can see, and that's what Coach Brownlee is saying to his guys, it ain't over yet.
tell you guys to keep it tight or just keep going? Don't take your foot off the gas?
You can't.
Because this team, we've shown the Apaches have shown the team speed, that's for sure.
They've shown the team speed, they've shown the team fight. And let's see what they've got out there on the floor. They got Devontae Patterson, they got DeAndre Snedeker along with Chemizi and Chris White and Orlando Beckles.
Patterson gets it to White, gets run into by Bailey, who's double teamed. Getting a little rough out there. Beckles gets it back. Patterson to Matu. Bailey strips it away. And the ball will go out of bounds to the Apaches. And the Apaches are getting a little chippy.
Well,
getting their war paint on.
Yep.
3-point shot put up. Townsell won't get it. And another three, a long three, put up. As now the Apaches trying to get back into the ball game via the three. White with it.
That's where Chemizi has the cut to the basket. Okay, don't be content just for that. Layup would have sufficed. You would have got the same 2 points.
That's a backcourt violation.
Now we're going to have a foul against Centennial.
If it's against Bailey, that's his 5th.
Yeah, boy. Fisher.
It is. And it'll be double bonus time. Now you see the numbers. Orlando Beckles goes to the line to shoot 2.
No, I was just going to say double. You were talking about the numbers so the fans are aware. 10 team fouls, you shoot 2 free throws instead of the 1 and 1.
So 14 points now for Orlando. Out of the ball game is Snedeker, and back in is Quincy Pinkard. Also back in the ball game is Dejan Mortis. Beckles is 1 for 2 this time down. With 2:25 left to go in the 4th quarter. Townsell with it. Gets it to Davis now for 3. Won't go down, and over the top with a foul is Rodney Smith. That'll be his 3rd. And then you see the over the top.
Yep.
And let's see how Devontae Patterson is at the line. He's done everything else right. And there you see Rodney Smith. There's Devontae.
Broderick Jones getting ready to come back in on the 2nd free throw.
So Devontae still with 5 points. Orlando Beckles sits down, and Broderick Jones comes back in. Broderick's with 10 points. And Devontae, 1 out of 2, and a timeout taken by Chris Brownlee.
And of course with the score again at 13, 54-41. Now clock a little more in the favor of the Lawndale Cardinals as it continues to wind down when we come back out of this timeout.
Let's go to Rashawn.
Hey guys, Centennial has definitely made this one interesting here tonight. How they have pushed Lawndale Cardinals pretty much to the limit. I mean, 12-point lead, but it doesn't really seem safe, even with a little 2+ and some change left in this game. We'll talk about what the Apaches were able to do to be successful here tonight. Broderick Jones, 2nd night in a row that he's had a huge impact for these Cardinals. We'll talk about him and also the evolution of Chemizi Metu. All of that in the postgame, guys.
Hey, we got ourselves a tease for the postgame show.
To say the least. I think these guys forgot the game started 45 minutes late.
We're going to have to call this the morning show by the time this postgame show. Now, Devontae Patterson gets it back over to Pinkard, but it's swatted away by Davis. He's had a terrific game for these Apaches with 2 minutes left to go. Three-point shot won't go down, and Chemizi comes up with the rebound. So ball goes out of bounds. And that goes right off of a Gidio. I wonder if we get a bruise. Chris White gets it to Matu. Did he think about a three?
I think he did.
Devontae Patterson with 1:35 left to go in the ball game. Ball is tipped away. Here comes Davis. Look out. The layup won't go down for the Apaches. And that's been that kind of night for Centennial.
Pinkert is held on the play, and let's see what he gives a foul to.
I think it was number 3, Keyshawn Harris. That'll be his 5th as well. So going to the line to shoot the 1-and-1 is Quincy Pinkert. So coming back in the ball game is Dejon Mortis. And Quincy has no points. So Rashawn, who did you say had 3 blocks? Davis? So Davis with 3 blocks, okay. 1 point for Quincy. Make it 2. Right down the middle. So we've had contributions from everybody top to bottom now, Rufus, with Quincy Pinkert on the board. Tedrick Johnson, the only player that got some minutes that did get onto the scorebook. Chris White holding on to the ball as the Cardinals beat the full court pressure with 1:05 left to go. White gets it to Jones, now playing keep away from the Apaches. Under a minute left to go, and the Apaches really aren't fouling yet. And Jones underneath, nice pass to Chris White. 8 points all in the quarter, Rufus.
All in the fourth quarter.
Davis, little long. Here comes Rogers, and Rogers bounces off of a Cardinal.
Well, he's fouled by Broderick Jones on the play. 35 seconds. There you see the clock. Biggest lead of the game, if I'm not mistaken, for the Cardinals at 58-41.
So Rodney Smith doing a good job of using Broderick Jones as a leaning post, and Broderick gets his 3rd personal. That's the 6th team foul.
And Centennial's been stuck on that 41 since the 3-minute mark, 3:12 to be exact here in the 4th. So again, good defense. That was one of the things I mentioned. And guess what? They're at the same 41 points that El Segundo was.
That's right. Matu gets it over to White with 21 seconds left in the ball game. White goes baseline, gets it out to Matu, fumbles it around.
Too much.
Skips it across to Devontae with 10 seconds left. 9 seconds on the game clock. Matu thinking about it again, gets it to White. He'll take the 3-point shot with 1 second left on the shot clock, and then the horn sounds to end this ball game. The final score, 58-41 in favor of the El Segundo, in favor of the Lawndale Cardinals, who improved to 11-7, 2-0 in the Pioneer League. The Centennial Apaches fall to 9-9 overall, and 2-1, their first loss in the Pioneer League. So now the Lawndale Cardinals are at least in a tie for first place with Torrance.
At least. And I think with the way they're playing, and of course, what they'll do is look at the overall record. And of course, if Torrance won tonight, their overall would end up being 12-6 with their, and for Lawndale, they're 11-7. So
we got little Mr. Beckles. He's not the baby anymore. We got a 9-month-old Beckles. One more, we got a team.
Right.
So this is a terrific game for the Lawndale Cardinals, Rufus, because they had to really grind this one out for the win tonight.
Well, they did, but it's the kind of games. I mean, they are character-building games. If you want to look at it that way, it was a good contest, a good challenge put up by the Centennial Apaches, and they're able to hold form and get out of here with the W. So I think Coach Brownlee will be glad with that, and not to mention the fact that it was a 17-point win. Let's not forget that either, at 58-41.
And they finished pretty well, scoring 16 points in that fourth quarter, outscoring the Apaches 16-11. And while we're waiting for some guests to come onto the post-game show, want to take a timeout?
Hey, why not?
All right, we'll take a timeout and be back after this.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship Yukon Huskies basketball team, and you're losing your Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow-away jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Final score of this ball game, 58-41, goes to the Cardinals, now 2-0 in the Pioneer League. Let's go to Sebastian Spencer.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm with Coach Brownlee here. Coach, you guys were able to pull it out against a scrappy, fundamentally sound Centennial team. How do you think you guys did?
We were able to just have some poise and go ahead on and get it down inside a little more. And then we made some free throws. We didn't make enough to my liking, but we were able to find open men and then, score when we needed to. It's a very well-coached Centennial team, very sound on offense, very dedicated to the zones on defense, and we knew it was going to be a tough match when we were preparing for it.
After that game, you guys had a couple turnovers. What did you tell them in the inside at halftime and after the game as well for them to try to play a little bit better? Because it seemed like the second half went just like the first.
That we need to just get a little bit more discipline with the ball. We have a lot of work to do with our guard play overall and our big play. Just overall our play, taking care of the ball and doing the right things with the ball. So we just have to do the right things with the ball. We have a lot of kids. A lot of kids that didn't get in tonight are talented guys. And they're very talented guys. It's just difficult to play 15 to 16 guys every night. And some nights, a couple of nights, some people will be the odd man out. And then we got to continue to work on our ball handling and on our passing and decision making.
Congrats on the win tonight, Coach.
Right, thank you.
No problem. There you go, guys. Coach Brownlee about his Cardinals on the win tonight. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. Let's go over some scoring. And the Centennial Apaches, who again fall to 99 overall and 2-1 in the Pioneer League. And now they're also 1-2 on the road. And Rashawn Turner had 4 points and 2 rebounds. And let's go back out to center court to Egidio.
Thank you, guys. Well, Coach, here, unfortunately, not the results you were looking for. How do you evaluate your team's play here in your first loss in the Pioneer League?
Our effort was good, but we needed to do a better job on the boards, putting bodies on guys, especially their big guys. And that's really where they beat us. They're on the free throw line, and that's out of our control.
Also looking ahead real quick here, you got some bright players on there. Harris and Davis, talk about them a little bit. How do you think they played here tonight?
They were solid. Their floor game was good. We didn't shoot the ball as well as we would like to, but they were solid tonight.
And what is the plan? What are you guys going to work on this week in practice looking to your next game?
Well, we play Monday morning against Bosco Tech, so we'll start preparing for them on Sunday and take a look at what they like to do. We don't like to look ahead, so I haven't even looked at them yet. We were focused on Lawndale, so one game at a time.
Coach, thanks a lot for your time. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Egidio, and talking to Vadim Malakin. And well, it is a loss, but they had a valiant effort in trying to stop these Cardinals that look unstoppable now. They've now won at least their last 12 in a row in the Pioneer League.
They absolutely have. And again, I mean, they're just a very solid team. The one thing that Coach Brownlee said, which you've heard me say, is that he has an abundance of riches. And he says some nights some guys don't get on the floor. And he had a couple of guys that we're accustomed to seeing that didn't get any action or very little tonight. A couple of guys, again, Aaron Gray being one and Brandon Newman being another, who are clearly in the rotation, and even Delano Beckles only got a couple of minutes.
That's right. That's how tough a game this was.
He shortened the lineup for tonight's contest. That's no accident, though. He knew he was going against a quality opponent, and he simply wanted the guys that he believed in the most in a pressure situation out on the court, and that's why you only saw an 8-man rotation tonight.
Let's go over that score and continue. Keyshawn Harris had 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 block shots. Chris Townsell had a down night, had 7 points and 3 rebounds. And Rodney Smith had 12 points and 3 assists. And Kenny Davis, who I thought was their player of the game, had 9 points, 1 rebound, 3 block shots, and 3 assists. Over on the other side for the Lawndale Cardinals, Broderick Jones had 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 block shot. 2 points for Quincy Pinkard, also 3 rebounds. Devontae Patterson had 6 points, and Shemezi Mutu had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 block shots. 2 rebounds for Tedrick Johnson, who did not score a point, although in limited action had a good game again. Orlando Beckles had 14 points, and none of those, Rufus, were 3-pointers. Had 2 rebounds, and 4 points for DeAndre Snedeker in the first half, also 2 rebounds, and 8 points for Chris White, all of them in the fourth quarter. So balanced scoring for the Cardinals again tonight.
Balanced scoring for the Cardinals, and as I said, they got a lot of different guys they can go to, which gives us an opportunity. All right, so we got another hit from the three amigos.
Speaking of depth.
And there they are. Rayshawn, take it away.
And thanks a lot, Rufus. Obviously, of course, 58-41, the final score here tonight. The Centennial team came in here tonight. We talked about it in the pregame, guys. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Well, they did exactly what they wanted to do. They slowed the game down. They kind of mucked it up a little bit and kind of got Lawndale out of that fast-paced, high-octane, up-tempo style of play. But the Cardinals still able to prevail, but it was close throughout. And how about the effort and the intensity of this Centennial team coming in here tonight, Egidio?
Definitely got to give it to we were all impressed. We talked about the fight that they showed in this game. Record-wise, it looked like it was going to be a close game, and it was all the way up to the fourth quarter. This team, I talked to the coach at halftime. He said they had to box out. That was the key thing. They were getting Broderick Jones and Chemezi Mutu a lot of second chance, a lot of rebounds. They each had 5 at half. At the end of the game, they did a better job, though. Chemezi Mutu had only 2 rebounds. Broderick Jones had 2 rebounds as well. So they kept them down. They slowed down the pace a little bit. Unfortunately, some good shooting by Lawndale and kind of opened up the gap, and the Apaches lost here tonight.
If you love the game of basketball like we all do, you got to love watching this Centennial team play tonight. Fundamentally sound. Every time you see them catch the ball, it's a jump stop. It's a pump fake up high and then a bounce pass down low. They did everything right. They made all the right plays. They just didn't make enough of them here tonight. And then going back to that tempo, one subtlety tonight, Egidio, during free throw situations, when Centennial was at the free throw line in an effort to prevent Lawndale from any runouts, they had all of their men back defensively, and that stopped Lawndale from running.
Definitely. I noticed that a few times from watching the game. They were all in a different formation. All the players lined up with each other next to the bench there. So a different formation there. But some bright spots here. We want to talk real quick about Kenny Davis, number 25. A good shooter, not a good rebound, only 1 rebound this whole game, but a good player. He's a sophomore. He's going to build on. Harris, also a sophomore. So only 3 seniors that actually played, 4 total on the team. The rest of the team underclassmen. So a bright future for the Centennial team. They look pretty good here tonight, unfortunately, with the loss, though.
And 9 points, 3 assists, 3 blocks for Davis, just a sophomore, but you saw some leadership from him tonight as well. As I take it over here to Sebastian Spencer. Sebastian, You look at Broderick Jones tonight, back in double figures once again, 10.6 rebounds. He's really starting to solidify himself in this lineup.
Yeah, I think he's definitely coming into his own with this Lawndale team. You know, him and Chemezi were having a little bit of trouble playing together at first, but I think they're starting to notice each other more and playing with each other in practice and starting to get to know each other and know where the ball is. I mean, they're at their best when they play in the inside and they play with each other.
And talking to somebody heavily involved in grassroots basketball circuit, talking about Chemezi Metu and just how much he's grown. Someone that I'm really, really close with was talking about just how shocked they were, his growth. I mean, we've seen him from a freshman till now. He jumped leaps and bounds from his freshman year to his sophomore year. But from his sophomore year to his junior year, my gosh, Sebastian.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest leap that he made from the sophomore year to the junior year. We talked about it in our first game back here at Lawndale. Like I said, I followed him over the summer. He became a 4-star recruit, playing with the likes of the Oakland Soldiers, playing against all the best AAU teams like Cal Supreme and all those other guys, those modern-day kids playing for those travel ball teams as well. So he's had a lot of experience in playing against a lot of great players at his age, and I think that's what's allowed him to grow.
Yeah, and you also see him growing as a leader as well. 15.7 boards, 5 blocks tonight for Chemezi. That's it for the Three Amigos. That's what you guys are calling us, Three Amigos. Going to wrap it up right here tonight, guys. I guess we'll see you right back here next Friday.
All right. So, well, it's either that or the Three Stooges. Okay. All right. Well, it's now time for the player of the game and the tip of the hat of the game. And balanced scoring, 3 guys, 3 Cardinals in double figures tonight. Jones, Metu, and Beckles, Orlando Beckles. So, well, Broderick Jones had a really good game with 10 points and 6 rebounds. He was tough. And Chemezi, we expect this out of him, night in and night out.
Expected out of him, but again, tonight he delivered at that level. It's one thing to expect it, it's another thing to get it. And when you got a guy like him who gives it night in and night out on a consistent basis, especially in the games where you're going to be challenged. And he's going to have plenty of those, but this is one of the most challenging ones we'll see in terms of Pioneer League action. So I think he answered the bell and responded well. No rhyme intended, just came out that way. So, again, for my vote, the player of the game is Chemezi Metu.
All right, there's our player of the game right there. There you see him. And then for our player, the tip of the hat. And you brought out the straw again because it was 90 degrees here in Southern California today.
So this is the first time you realize what's about to happen has never happened before.
What's that?
A basketball player is going to get the tip of the hat award, and the hat's going to be a straw hat, as you just noticed, because that's not a winter hat. Okay.
You know, usually you got the fur by now.
You got that right, brother. But I had to go back, had to go back in the closet and pull this one out.
The way back.
All right. Just for those who want to know, and I know there's some. This is a Dobbs Fifth Avenue, brother.
Wow.
All right. This didn't come cheap. Okay. So the guy who's getting it though had the kind of game that warrants the tip of the hat award. Another one of those consistent Lawndale Cardinals, and he's shown that already over the course of the season. And the night in particular, because when you talk about his score and scored throughout the contest. So, number 21, Orlando Beckles, part of the Beckles family, and they sit right here to the left of our broadcast position, so we get to see them.
Well, they also make sure that we say their names right.
There you go. Orlando, you are the Tip of the Hat Award winner tonight for an outstanding performance.
14 points and 2 rebounds, and again, all over the place. One of the many water bugs on this team, Orlando Beckles. Well, that's going to do it. Why don't we wrap up that hat and put it up in the shelf and the win column?
There you go. It's back up.
All right. Well, for Rufus Washington, the 3, we're going to have to, that's what we got to have some sort of a contest. The 3 dudes, our 3 guys. The 3 tenors, or the 3 sopranos.
3 mo tenors, because they not the real 3 tenors. They 3 mo tenors.
Rashawn Haylock, Egidio DeLeo, and the Sebastian Spencer and the City TV crew led by the award-winning Tom Strickfadden. This is Lou Stowers telling you once again from the Cardinals' nest. Lawndale High School defeats the Centennial Apaches 58-41. Until next time, so long.